mexe. Menina, vem pra cá. Aê, eu quero ver você mexer.
Hi, I'm Marcus Scribner. The way we treat animals affects all of us. Cruel treatment of animals led to the pandemic crisis, killing 1 million people. And environmental destruction, pollution, and poaching have made our world a poorer place. To fight back, American Humane created a 10-point plan to do better by our animal friends. Visit AmericanHumane.org today and sign our new deal for animals to make a kinder and healthier world for all of us.
Hello, I'm Ann Geddes. Every 2 seconds, somewhere in the world, a baby is born too soon. Did you know that premature birth is the leading cause of newborn deaths, not just in the US, but around the world? With each week these precious babies stay and thrive in the womb, the risk of disabilities is significantly reduced. It's not too late to make a difference. Premature birth can be prevented, and new lives can be saved. The March of Dimes has created a network of prematurity research centres developing new treatments that will assist in making a difference. The March of Dimes continues to work with parents, the medical community and governments to bring improved prenatal care to mothers and their babies. Give every newborn the chance to be born healthy. Join with me and the March of Dimes. Take the first step. Visit marchofdimes.org.
Reaching the World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
Que se vuelva a parar.
Traguito de gin tonic, muy brillo colorado. Ando buscando es que yo soy vos. Consumo, que janguea con alcohol y que bota mucho humo, mami. Es que yo soy vos, un lambo de mucho consumo, que janguea con alcohol y que bota mucho humo. Dale como yo te le dígame que yo te sigo. La noche está caliente, prepárate que nos fuimos. Tú y yo haciendo hacer, imagínalo. Ando buscando money, esto por lo mío, enfocado. Un traguito de gin tonic, muy brillo colorado. Ando buscando money, esto por lo mío, enfocado. Un traguito de gin tonic, muy brillo colorado. Ando buscando money, esto por lo mío, enfocado. Un traguito de gin tonic, muy brillo colorado. Ando buscando money, esto por lo mío, enfocado. Un traguito de gin tonic, muy brillo colorado.
Oye, pero suéltate el pelo, ponte divina, así me gusta. Y si te subes la falda, ¡ah, qué maravilla! Te digo que a mí me encanta, que me fascina. Y agárrate, prepara ese cuerpo, porque esta noche lo que te doy es puro sabor.
I'm in the hot box. aprieta, dale, aprieta, dale, aprieta, dale, aprieta, dale, aprieta, dale, bátelo, 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 bátelo. Dale mami, bátelo. Pide lo que quieras pa' comprártelo. Ese vestido que te dio voy a quitártelo. Casi desnuda te quiero pa' decorártelo. Y dale ven, ven, que yo estoy pa' ti. No te lo esperaba y te sorprendí. En ese momento te lo advertí. Que si te dejas llevar no te vas a arrepentir, baby. Aprieta, aprieta, dale, aprieta, dale, aprieta, dale, aprieta, dale, aprieta, dale, aprieta, dale, bátelo. Bátelo. Bátelo, 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 bátelo,
vacilón, 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 vacilón. Ella lo que quiere es vacilón, 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 vacilón. Se te ve que quieres bailar, mami. Dale, 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 dale. Se te ve que tú estás suelta, el dembow ya te puso contenta. Se te ve que tú estás suelta, coronao, coronao en la vuelta. Siempre ando coronao, hielo en el cuello, ando congelado. De lo que quiera que yo pago, la nena me pide que le dé pao pao. Dale, 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 no me pide que le dé pao pao. Al todo que te mueve, no me pide que le dé pao pao. La mamica dura bailando se pone friki, el dembow se puso bueno y lo baila hasta Mickey Mouse. Dale mami que soy puro como Rosalía con el mismo. Dale al dembow, mami, dale al dembow hasta abajo, bien low, nena, saca ese flow. Dale, ma, eres una experta. Si quieres te saco la herramienta. Se te ve que tú estás suelta, el dembow ya te puso contenta. Se te ve que tú estás suelta, coronao, coronao en la vuelta. Se te ve que tú estás suelta, el dembow ya te puso contenta. Se te ve que tú estás suelta, coronao, coronao en la vuelta. Se te ve que tú estás suelta, 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 se te ve que tú estás suelta.
que se me hace difícil cada que tú no estás. Si tú supieras que se me hace difícil cuando tú te vas. Cuando tú te vas, cuando tú te vas. Cuando tú te vas, cuando tú te vas. Vente, disfruta conmigo, baila, va a bailar conmigo. Vente, disfruta conmigo, baila, va a bailar conmigo. Vente, disfruta conmigo, baila, va a bailar conmigo. Vente, disfruta conmigo. Súbelo, óyeme. ya, huepa, huepa, ya, ya, échate pa' acá, ya, ya, échate pa' acá, ya, ya.
name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
I'm Tiffany. I have some tips for you on how to quit smoking like I did. First, I did some reading about it. I found a lot of great advice on how to quit smoking and picked out the ways I thought would work best for me. I started by setting a quit date. Then I threw out my ashtrays, lighters, and matches. I did other things too, like exercising more, and it worked. But I'd still get cravings, especially on long car rides. To help me with that, I put a picture of my mother in my car. She died of lung cancer from smoking cigarettes when I was only 16. Now I have a 16-year-old daughter. That picture of my mother reminds me that I don't want to miss all the things my daughter is going to do in her life, including turning 17.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
Regional World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the DaBooth312 broadcast now, WIT 88.9 FM Chicago and DaBoothRadio.com. Hopefully you guys are doing all right, and I hope all of you enjoyed that little mix I put together for you guys today. We definitely have a great show lined up for you guys today. As always, we try to give you guys a great show. We have Rich Martinez and DJ Vegas, otherwise Greg Vargas, in the studio. We're going to be catching up with both of them since this is the first time both of them been on our show. We're going to get to know a little bit about them and what they got going on. We got some great events coming up. In Chicago, we have a lot of great events that most of you guys probably don't even hear about if you're outside the Chicagoland area. One is a great tribute event that is long awaited, and I'm not gonna steal the thunder away from DJ Vegas on that one. I want him to express it to you the way he expressed it to us, and it's definitely understood as to why he's putting it together and the attributes it holds. So it's definitely a great feel. And then we'll get into an interview, and we'll get to know Rich Martinez and a little bit about the events he's got coming up and what he's got going on in the music world. And then you also get a treat. You'll get to hear a mix by him as well. So we definitely have a great show. Real quick, I want to say welcome to everyone in the studio, especially our members who are able to be here, because so many were not able to be here because they have so much going on. Now all of us were lucky enough to be getting ready to go on the ship and travel away. I'm not going to mention who, but I'm sure he's going to enjoy it. But what's going on? Ron Tinsley's in the back. He was able to stop in the studio real quick with us. He's got to bounce out. He's got an event to go to. It's a pop-up event going on with Lil Lewis. Rose Red will be there, as well as Ron Tinsley. So they'll be there supporting and representing the DaBooth312. So make sure you guys pop over there. And if you didn't know about it, well, now you do. Make sure you look into it so you can get the info on that. And just search social media. I'm pretty sure you'll find it out there. DJ Fuego, what's going on, my friend?
Same old on my end there. I'm trying to just kind of keep these things straight, since this is probably one of the busier summers for me. I've got the opening set on the main stage at the Taco Tamale Festival in just 2 weeks. That Friday, it leads into a pretty busy weekend of festivals. I myself am gonna be on the opening hour at the main stage, so I really don't know what to expect in that regard. I know that on that subsequent Sunday, the very same weekend, we have got the Soul of Chicago. It's been moved from Carroll Street up to Warren Park. It's going to be up north, and most of us are going to be there. Ron Tinsley, Rose Red, and a lot of people that have actually appeared on the show, Soul Cat, and Dave C. It's just a lot of names. You know, the flyer itself is kind of a blur to me, but it's going to be a great event. A good friend of mine from back in the day, Justina, has been added to the lineup, and she's a soulful cat, so we like her as well. Other than that, I don't know. I guess there's this sort of underground event that we're doing out in Aurora. It's hosted by DJ Pena, where Chris Lara is going to be out there as well. Last year we had Daje performing there, so not exactly sure who's going to be coming out. But
hey, Ron Tinsley, why don't we play a Fuego incident? You know, when Rose is usually on, he's jumping up right behind her all the time. Why don't you jump up behind the mic there? You got anything going on? Come on, man.
No, I really don't. I feel like I got an appendage cut off because I'm so used to being on social media for so long, and it seems like, well, for those that don't know, I didn't unfriend anybody. My Facebook page got hacked, and I'm appealing it right now. So hopefully they don't X me out totally, and I got to start all over, because then you know how that goes. Right. I'm just, I'm doing good. You know, you mentioned the Lil Lewis event, going over there. I don't have the address pulled up. I was trying to pull it up, but
yeah, I can't send them to your page anymore. So
yeah. Go on Rose Red's page. She has it. Right. It's on it's on my Instagram page, I believe. I shared it, but Rose has also shared it. So that's going on starting at 4 p.m. If you had VIP tickets to that event, the one, yes, there we go. Okay, now I need some glasses. Okay, the event is taking place at 2918 North Central Park Avenue. From 4 to 11.
That's a little bit north of Diversity Avenue on Central.
Thanks for the traffic. So, that was brought to you by Louis Frago. So, the great thing about this is if you had a VIP ticket at the Lil Louis concert, you can use that ticket stub and get in for free over here at this.
Stay a little bit closer to the mic so everyone can hear you.
Again, if you have VIP tickets to the Lil Louis concert that was on the 29th, you could take that ticket stub and you get in free today from 4 to 11 over there at 29 that North Central Avenue. So come on down. I'm gonna be there, like Rob said, myself, Rose Red, Timothy Triplett, a few others will be there, and this is Lil Louis playing for you guys. So,
all right, sweet. All right, guys. So we're not gonna take any more time away from these legends. Right here, we're going to interview and get to know DJ Vegas, Greg Vargas, who's going to talk to us a little bit about living legends. Let's make sure we get it right. This is very inspiring, and we're so happy that it's being done and you started. Why don't you tell everybody where the idea came from and how you started to put this together?
Well, it's because Chicago is so diverse with disc jockeys, and I've been seeing, I've been spinning since the 70s. Everybody's like crabs in a barrel. You know, nobody can get up without pulling each other back down.
Right.
I said, you know what, this got to stop. And I also said, you know, why are we giving awards out to people once they're dead? You know, I'd like to do something to award them while they're living so they can appreciate what they're doing, you know? And it started out with disc jockeys, but there's so much more to Chicago than disc jockeys. We have world contender boxers that are Latin. We got restaurateurs that I'm going to give an award to, La Scarola. Nuevo Leon, Canton Reggio, Danny, actors that came from Chicago, Michael Pena, John Seda from Chicago PD. We have people, Mortal Kombat was developed here, and we got the Pacina brothers, Carlos Pacina and his brother, Danny Pacina. He's going to be getting an award. They actually did the Mortal Kombat gaming, and they played in movies also. They were in the Ninja Turtles, Secret of Ooze, actors. And I mentioned them first because they are also a big part of this acknowledgement. Then disc jockeys, well, we know the slew of disc jockeys. You know, there's a slew, and you keep. Right. And I like to keep it sweet and honest, but you know, that's a rough bunch. Believe me, you know, disc jockeys are a rough bunch, but they are deserving. A lot of them are deserving, not even knowing that they're deserving for it. Like, let me give, for instance, a couple of them. Tony Mundaka. Everybody thinks he was just a sales guy at Imports, etc. And he wasn't. He's actually the executive producer for a lot of Rich Ball records and a lot of music that came out of that. And then he also discovered Xavier Gold. A lot of people don't know that, you know, and some other. And that's just a little bit. Gabriel. Gabriel Rodriguez, Rican Rodriguez. He came aboard after the initial development, and there's so much to him that nobody knows. You know, a lot of people don't know. The man next to me here, when I started out, I started Earthquake Productions, and I was doing mobile disc jockeys. So this way, to give the mobile disc jockeys awareness, because you know, being a radio station. Record companies didn't acknowledge anybody unless you were in the club, right? Or you know, a radio station, right? So Rich was actually one of my mobile disc jockeys that we utilized productions. With, of course, the guy that hustled for me was Mike Martinez. I got to give him credit, man. He was phenomenal, and he was out to 3:00 in the morning hanging them posters up on the light poles. You know, I mean, everybody could have recognized them days.
Right.
So getting back to the living legends I wanted to do this to inspire Latins and then extend outwards. I wanted to start with Chicago first because we have so many that go unnoticed on what they did. Like a lot of people, the main focus of living was Benji Espinosa.
Amen.
Benji Espinosa is the one that without him distributing music overseas to London, the Ministry of Sound, which I played at a couple times in the past, beautiful, humongous place. They didn't know. Chicago disc jockeys didn't know. I mean, they didn't know. He was importing for Trax and DJ International. Hopefully I could say their names, and a lot of the disc jockeys over here didn't know that their music was getting played out there for reasons that I don't want to get into. Right. But let's just put it this way: the change wasn't going in the pocket, you know. Yeah. But that's what he did. And then when it went over there, they were saying Frankie Knuckles played over there, and he said, "Oh, they like that kind of music." Well, Frankie Knuckles and me even said, in back of Imports, etc., it's only dance music. That's all it was. I mean, how it got created is in London when they were saying, "Oh, the music Frankie plays over there at the house, the warehouse. It's the house music." Which another story, a short one, is house music was coined because he was supposed to come and see me. And he invited me to his party. This is a true story. And he says, "It's all black and it's all gay. If you don't mind coming to my birthday party." I says, "Yeah, fine. If you want to come to my club in Cicero, it's called Tiffany's." I said, "And it's all white and it's all straight." And they're prejudiced. So let it be known, he actually made a record and a documentary stating that he was driving around and he's seen in the window house music played here. And that meant that the band that was playing played house music. Well, that bar was a country and western bar across the street from Tiffany's called Mickey's MGM. And that's where the sign was. So when I showed up to his birthday party, I said, at least I showed up. He goes, I did go, but he got driving around and I seen this one bar and I thought it was it. And it said house music played here. And I said, no, that was across the street from where I played. So that's a true story of how it got coined.
Didn't Tiffany's have like licensing until like 6 in the morning or something?
There was
like
no
that?
licensing because it was, not to get into it, the noses ran everything.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning, you go in there, it's pitch black, and then you walk out in the sunlight.
They came from all over the place. Wrestlers, Robert Downey Jr., you'd see him slouching over a bar stool there too. Actors and everything, but it's fun times. But these are things why I want to establish how Latinos, Benji goes unnoticed.
Absolutely.
Everybody in the city of house music, no matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, owes it to Benji for getting that music distributed overseas. Right. And how house music was actually created. You'll hear different stories, but I want to count and award the people on what actually really happened.
Well, that's what I loved about Benji, because he would actually bring in proof, hard proof, and we put it on camera, so there's no disputes on anything. So Benji and I would talk about it. He's like, okay, we're going to talk about this. He's like, I'm bringing all the proof. He'd bring posters. He'd bring this. So there's no disputing what Benji would say.
He was phenomenal. What he said, I was telling his brother who's going to be accepting the award from him. He's a councilman out in Berwyn. I was telling him how Benji never got anything, and how Benji would nail you. I made a record, bits and pieces. I did it out bootleg. It was the first actual mixed record. Benji was saying, no, that wasn't, with me, back and forth. I said, Benji, yeah, it was. And I said, I was the one that produced it with the guy out in Canada. He put the Beatles music soundtrack behind it. I did the front part of it. He went to jail, but he didn't pick on me because we didn't know anything. We were doing it so fast, we didn't know anything about the copyrights. And actually, honest to God, truth, I took the record, the first copy. I went out to go see Kenny Jason at McGreevy's, and I said, hey, check this out. And then Kenny turns around and says, did you get the copyrights? I'm like,
McGreevy's, that's a name I haven't heard of.
Nowadays everybody does everything underneath the counters. You see disc jockeys producing music. And saying, I did stems, but what they do is just, and I'm not knocking them, whatever works, but I come from the old school, I get me in a 36-track studio and break down every instrument, on a big TAC reel-to-reel. Mm-hmm. Now that, I know all that stuff. The new stuff came about, it makes it so much easier. Like your set. Try to do that on record and keep on beat. It's kind of hard. Not saying that you use sync or anything, but the clarity on.
Try doing sync once and it threw me off. I couldn't.
That's another discussion.
That's Paris Hilton's world.
Who was that one that choked at Coachella? Who was it?
I can't. I know
Grimes, DJ Grimes. Yeah, she's gonna have to carry that one for the rest of her.
It is what it is. I give credit to anybody that tries to do something. Whether it's wrong, whether it's right, or whatever, but at least they're attempting to do something. So I took this living legend thing, and I said, I'm going to do it. Gabe came on board. It's helping me out immensely, And then, I got the other disc jockeys. I got Mickey Oliver, Gabe got on CZR, and Harry Crank, and some other ones.
I'll be working with you for a video.
But one more thing I wanted to say is there was a lot of people getting mad because they feel they didn't make the list. But it's not about the list. It's because there's going to be continuous every year.
Oh, absolutely.
And I want to give opportunity to the first bunch and the second bunch, and especially I have white disc jockeys, Caucasians, how they want to call it, that are getting acknowledge a Latin Living Legend Award. And they say, well, how is it going to do that? Well, it's called a Cultural Crossover Award. That means you actually dedicated your time to the Latin communities, and that's what they're now, whether it be radio.
Right.
And it could be black, it could be everything in the future, but I had to start out somewhere, and my pockets only go so deep, you know?
Right. No, absolutely. And, you know, of course, there's a lot of people that get butthurt. Me first. And one of the greatest things that I love is, people like you and I have a lot in common. We were talking in the back room before we came on, and you said things that I constantly say. Ron says, we try to work together, you and the uplifting, not focusing on those who are constantly being the crabs in the barrel, bringing everyone down. Because if we're focused on that, we're not trying to meet our end goal. Uplift and keep moving the community. Because if we're constantly focusing on the negative, we can't focus on the positive. And that's one of the things I loved right away. Besides the fact that all the great things that Gabriel Rodriguez has said about you to me when we've talked.
Oh, thank you.
But
thank you, Gabe.
When I actually got the chance to meet you today, we sat down and discussed. I didn't have to say anything. You said it yourself. Without any thought or hesitation. So your views align definitely with mine. I've told people before that a clique is nothing more than a word, and it's nothing more than a group of like-minded people. There's good, there's bad. It's fine. It is what it is. But I prefer to stay with that good clique.
Right.
That group of like-minded people. That could be 2, 3, 4, could be many, if we could stay like-minded and work for that positive progression, So I really honor you and applaud you in everything that you've been doing and what you're trying to achieve. Now, this will be the first of hopefully many, many more to come.
It'll be the first annual. And like I was telling Gabriel, I said, the people that I picked for the first one, I picked them, hand-picked them. And the reason why is some may not like the other ones in the group.
Right.
But I said, think of it like the Oscars. Not everybody, when you go to the Oscars, actors and everybody receiving their Oscars like each other.
Right.
A lot of people in that Oscar room can't stand each other.
Yeah, but we're there for one.
But we're there for one thing, to get exactly. Just as long as Will Smith doesn't come up and slap you.
Chris Rock said it still hurts.
It still hurts. But I just want this to hopefully. I know I can't change the world, but I could change a little bit of thought of the way people think, and hopefully uplift each other, no matter what race you are. But I wanted to start with the Latinos first,
Right.
And then branch out from Chicago to worldwide. Plus, the Alma Awards is no longer. So this is kind of like replacing the Alma Awards. So the curator of the place saying, this is snowballing into something big. Do you want to make it bigger in the bigger place? I said, no. I want to keep it the way it is. The next year, we could make it bigger.
Right.
So hopefully with God's blessing, because he's number one,
Right.
He makes me follow the path the right way. And, hopefully everybody that gets an award softens their hearts, changes their direction of thinking, and hopefully we get there.
No, absolutely. When is this first annual supposed to kick off again?
Okay, we picked during Hispanic Heritage Month. Okay, so we picked September 28th, and is at the Citlalin Art Gallery in the heart of Pilsen. I don't have the address truthfully on me right now, but it's right by Benito Juarez. And I'm sure, I'll pull it up. Somebody will pull it up for me.
We can get it to you and put it out in our pages.
Yeah, and he actually, the curator used to be one of my break dancers when I used to have the Earthquake break dancers, and he developed and he became a curator for over 25 years, and I helped him out there a couple of times. Okay. And he has a really nice gallery, and he brings music, art, everything into the gallery, and he's been there. The Alderman's going to be there, too. Also, we invited him when I was there with Gabe, so the Alderman wants to get on board with that. Yes.
That address is 2005 South Blue Island.
2005 South Blue Island. Thank you. Thank you, Louis.
All right, so in September, definitely.
Thank Anna.
Oh, muchísimo gracias, Anna.
We got a packed house here in the studio. We got Anna Banana here.
Yeah, we got Mr. Fabulous.
Mr. Fabulous, DJ FM in the studio. Gabriel Rican Rodriguez in the studio with us. Definitely have a great show as always, and we're really happy. You guys were both able to come in. Again, you yourself are a living legend as well.
Excuse me. I did a television show with the April Sun Goddess, and it was for Frankie Knuckles and Ron Hardy.
Disco Goddess?
Yeah, Disco's Goddess. Yeah.
Oh, R.I.P.
I did a show, and I emceed it, and they says, "Well, you know what? You're a you're a legend." And I cringed, and they says, "Well, what's wrong?" I said, "Well, legend. That means you're old."
I thought a legend was something talked about.
Well, I know a couple DJs that fancy themselves as legendary, and the speakers say different. But
yeah, I've noticed that too. They self-entitled themselves.
Yeah.
Self-entitled themselves. Whatever works for them.
Definitely. So, Rich, let's get you in this conversation. So, what was your input when you first found out about the Latin living legend?
Well, I was down. I was down. I mean, like he said.
Come up to the mic a little bit there.
Yeah, like he said that. I'd been around, and with
you've been around, huh?
I've been around. I'm not young anymore. But I mean, I remember the days of Earthquake, and they used to book me regularly at the hall parties and what have you with Mike Martinez from Taylor Street, and everything he says, I can co-sign. And it was great. It was great, and thanks to them, actually, I got more, notoriety for other promotions, hiring me for other parties and what have you. And then, like I said, it's been a journey, and I like that I have a lot of memories with the beginning, like when Hot Mix 5 first started, and even before that with WDAI, with Kenny Jason. And, basically around 82, I said, I want to do that. And I was hanging around with a friend of mine from Curie, and he told me that he was from a little village, and he told me somebody from actually like 2 blocks away from his house, was selling used DJ equipment. And I said, let me know, give me his name, his number. And, and this was all the time of landlines, So, hey, so-and-so, Al told me this, and, So I bought my first set of stuff back in like mid-82. And it was like, I want to say it was like Pioneer direct drive with little wheels, turntables, and I don't even know if it was a Gemini or Radio Shack mix or whatever. But that's how I learned. And then my same friend told me that Kenny Jason, who was managing WCYC at the time, was looking for mixers for a mix show. Right. So I sent a Tone Master cassette, and I would say at that point I was only DJing for maybe 4 months and practicing like crazy. And I was lucky if half the blends were good. I didn't know how to grade it. So I didn't have anything to match it to, or to say, well, this guy sounds like this. Besides the Hot Mix 5, of course. Right. And I think Kenny just needed people that were willing to do it. So when I started there, the only other mixer there, he was the first one, was Mauro Reyes. And it was great. I stood there until about 87, and it was a change of managers and what have you, and but it gave me a good start, and then with all the hall parties, and then I was involved with the Navy Pier Battle of the DJs in '87, which I won the mobile battle, and then I actually had to go against the winner of the club DJs. And, I never met this guy, and I'm not going to name him, and people can look it up and research it. But it was funny because every time I got out of a mix, I'd hand him the headphones, and he'd take them over, and he'd do his mix. But as soon as he would give it back to me with the headphones, he would bring the pitch control down.
So, Vegas, did you have those issues when you were DJing?
Oh, man. When I went for the battle of the Hot Mix 5, they kicked the cord out in back of me because, it was at the Bismarck. Prince was in the audience, and when they kicked the cord out, I took the microphone and I started rapping. you know, and Prince was like this, and he had a crowd around him. And rap wasn't big back then, you know, it wasn't even, and I just, hey, everybody, open your ears, you know, and I started out of the rap, and people started clapping until they put that chord back in. Then I went, and then everybody, oh, but because they kicked the chord out, you know, and let's face it, back then, favoritism played a lot in a lot of things. And I found this out from
I agree.
Lee Michaels. Lee Michaels was a business partner of mine with Sal Amato, and I asked Lee Michaels, I said, Lee, and he goes, yeah, Greg. I'm like, okay, I just want to know, just so I could know, you know. And he's Lee Michaels is the creator of the Hot Mix 5, you know. From BMX and GCI, he was all over the flyjack. But yeah, he's right. They're, you know, if they don't want you to win, they don't want you to win.
Yeah,
you know?
it was very shady. It was very shady, and whatever. You know, I mean, I battled Tony Boom Boom Dea that time, and somebody from CRX, and
you ever battle Gabriel?
No, Gabriel was a little too young. He was a little too young back then, you know. But
Boom Boom Dea. I battled him. They kicked the court out over there.
Tony too.
Yeah, kicks on 16.
Tony
They would do
Badea.
dirty stuff like that.
Yeah, you know, but I mean, it was all you know, memories now, but it was all experiences, you know.
Right, and the professionalism, you know, like Greg was saying. I mean, the fact that he was able to immediately jump into that mode. He's not sitting there crying, throwing a temper tantrum like so many DJs we've seen, previous and today. You see so much of that. They're sitting there throwing their hands up, crying about everything. You took, you know, a negative, turned into a positive, and kept riding with it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's professionalism, and that's how it should be when you're an artist.
One thing that I get a kick out of, and I think Rich could verify this with me, is the fact that you get all these disc jockeys crying because it's too long. An hour's too long. Sure, I remember my days were 4 to 6 hours, man. You know, I'd leave one club, do 5 hours at Zach's, go to Tiffany's and do another 5 hours there. And then nowadays, 1 hour and they're busting sweat, which I seen you bust a little sweat too. Right?
I got a lot of bodies in the room, you know.
But it was hard back then, you know. It was hard back then. There was no, there wasn't something goes wrong, the record goes off the needle, you break a needle, then you gotta ad-lib, spin that record one thing, the power goes off, keep it spinning until you find out what's wrong. You know?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, getting back to, you know, my journey with this, you know, I mean, I had the pleasure of working with Pedro Rodriguez, who was an on-air jock at WCYC, and then along with his promotion, Fusion Dance Promotions, and they actually had him and his brother had a label called Fusion Records, and they did pretty well back in the day, and then, you know, I just kind of laid low for a few years, and then then I started my record label back recently, 2014, Chicago Skyline Records.
Okay,
and,
awesome. 10 years, okay.
Yeah, and then you know, I have a sister label called House Chicago Digital that I really don't put too many releases out on anymore because the distributor is from Germany. It's called Dig This, but the language barrier is just so bad, and it's like, you know, I really can't get anywhere with them, you know, and so I basically haven't put anything out for a few years with that, but Chicago Skyline Records is thriving, and I got, you know, global artists on there as well as stateside, and so I'm real happy with it, and you know, that takes a lot of my time, and I still do the DJing here and there. I actually passed the reins over to my daughter, Jackie Martinez, DJ Jax. She's a V5 DJ.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
she's a V5 DJ, and she's been doing it for about 3 years, and so she's very good at what she does. She's open format, you know, so she does the reggaeton and all that stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
So so it's been a nice part of my life, you know, along with my family, my wife Christine, and my older daughter Brianna.
Okay.
And Jackie, of course. So so we're, you know, like I said, it's progressed to this, you know, with the record label, and I'm really happy that they pegged me to be involved with the Latin Living Legends. That's an honor as well.
No, absolutely, and the fact that I was asked to help with the video part and everything, and I'm honored to help out with it. It's a great ordeal.
Thank you.
I'm so happy it's being done, and I just want to see it continue to grow. You know,
I wanted to say something to you. You know, everybody, you know, a lot of the jocks that are coming came from WCYC. There's a little true story here. I was offered the job to take over WCYC from the old man Harold.
Really?
And I didn't want it because I took state championships there, checkers and darts. And I said no because he was kind of prejudiced. And I said, give it to Kenny. Kenny Jason, he took over it, and I turned it down. The first Hispanic disc jockey on CYC was actually a disc jockey called Tino Rojas, and he was with the Disco All-Stars. And that's another thing, too. We're giving an award out to Pinky, who started out battles all over the world. Pinky Sandoz is the guy that started out battles all over he started out here that carried on all over the world. And I forgot to mention him too, Pinky Sandoz. He's on board giving one. So without Pinky, there would have been no DMC competition. There would have been no Red Bull competitions. He's the one that actually, and I was in also the battles too, the very first one. If it wasn't for him, and Rich was in the one.
I was in '87. Pinky All-Star. Yeah, they're the ones that threw those battles.
Yeah, they're the ones that actually started out battles that became worldwide. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah,
too.
and actually speaking of Navy Pier, August 3rd, Gabriel I and Juan Too Big Perez will be doing a kind of 40-year history of house little performance over there. So it's going to be at the Wave Wall. So anybody who's free, it's a free event. Please come down.
And that one is called Latinos in the House.
That's right, Latinos in the House. And I'm looking forward to that. So if people are free, please come down. Show support.
Great. All right, guys, want to thank DJ Vegas, a.k.a. Greg Vargas, for coming in, telling us about the Latin Living Legends. Make sure you be looking for that one. We will be sharing that and helping you guys with that. And we're going to go into a commercial break, play little tunes for you, and help Rich Martinez get set up here and make sure he's good to go. He's going to be throwing a mix for you guys on the ones and twos, so make sure you stick around here. For the best sounds of the underground, DaBooth312, broadcast now WIT 88.9 FM Chicago and WOUI, DaBoothRadio.com.
Most of us start every day with good intentions, and then everyday life can get in the way.
Maybe next time.
Especially when it comes to getting enough exercise. By the time you get ready for work, get the kids ready for school, get the kids to school, get yourself to work, run some errands after work, make dinner, and get ready to do it all over again. When are you supposed to find time for a workout or even a walk? What if you could take care of your daily responsibilities and get the exercise you need to stay healthy all at the same time? Experts say with more opportunities to walk, bike, or take public transportation, exercise would become part of our daily routine, lowering obesity rates, cutting healthcare costs, and giving ourselves and our children a chance to lead longer, healthier lives. It's not impossible, but it will take good planning to make active living part of our everyday lives. Learn more at planning.org. That's planning.org. A message from this station and the American Planning Association.
The NLS Braille and Audio Reading Download, or BARD, web-based service and BARD mobile app give patrons the freedom to read their way, listen to their stories.
BARD is this beautiful web-based program for searching for books and for the ability to download them.
Now, this next step with BARD Mobile has just been a tremendous innovation.
It's a great way to have a book with you without carrying a book.
Wherever I go, BARD Mobile, the library services is with me.
When you discover you have an impairment, it can change your life. So take a little time to find the resources that are going to help you restore what you've lost.
For more information about the National Library Service for the Blind and Physically Handicapped Library of Congress, visit loc.gov/thatallmayread or call 1-888-NLS-READ.
Regional World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
big fight. Been down so long, getting up to the cross of mine. Trying to break out of the ghetto with a big fight. Been down so long, getting up to the cross of mine. Trying to break out of the ghetto with a big fight. Been down so long, getting up to the cross of mine. Trying to break out of the ghetto with a big fight. Been down so long, getting up to the cross of mine.
the beat.
Thank you. So good to be called on today. Amen. So good to stand before all these fine families here. Reminded me of my own back in Chicago. It's a hard road I walk that takes me so far away from them. Hallelujah.
to. Turn it on, make it work. Baby, I'm going to. Turn it on, make it work.
Since I was a kid, I've always been looked down on, and and even like I said, named the problem child. Problem child. Saw myself as the problem child because I saw my spark, and that's what they call the problem child. Being different, having that spark, having the ability to look at my teacher and be like, are you sure you're not wrong? Because I saw my spark.
Another East Coast. Hello, I'm Ann Geddes. Every 2 seconds, somewhere in the world, a baby is born too soon. Did you know that premature birth is the leading cause of newborn deaths, not just in the US, but around the world? With each week these precious babies stay and thrive in the womb, the risk of disabilities is significantly reduced. It's not too late to make a difference. Premature birth can be prevented, and new lives can be saved. The March of Dimes has created a network of prematurity research centres developing new treatments that will assist in making a difference. The March of Dimes continues to work with parents, the medical community and governments to bring improved prenatal care to mothers and their babies. Give every newborn the chance to be born healthy. Join with me and the March of Dimes. Take the first step. Visit marchofdimes.org.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Regional World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the DaBooth312, broadcast now WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago and WOUI, DaBoothRadio.com. All right, guys. Sorry about that. We had a little hiccup on the end of that mix, and that was Rich's last track. And I don't know, all of a sudden the equipment started to mess up. Gotta love technology. I know things happen, but hopefully you enjoyed the mix as much as we did. We definitely enjoyed what was coming through the box. So we're gonna get into Angie Pat's early segment here. So Angie, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Good to be back in the studio.
Well, it's good to have you back in the studio.
Yeah. I'll be coming more often.
You'll be coming around the mountain?
I mean, as she comes. I'll be heading out this Wednesday to go to Jersey and New York.
Everyone's getting away. You know, it's like, what the hell? All y'all just
call me Calgon. Take me away.
We got Chris Lara taking a vacation cruise. I mean, I don't even want to talk about that guy right now. 10-year-olds get
all getting away. That's good. God bless you all. I mean, seriously, you're able to get away, relax, unwind. Everybody, and I do mean everybody, needs it. So I'm really happy for you guys. You're getting out. You're getting away.
Yeah. Hey, Tracy. Gonna be doing some things on location. Chilla's been gone, for a while, and doing what he needs to do, and I've been doing things on this end. And on a really good note, we have opened a new studio here in Chicago.
Ooh.
So we're trying to get that set up and going. To all my writers, I miss you guys so much. I know I haven't, been up. But when I come back, all that's, going to change. We've got, new shows coming. We're bringing the His and Her show back. It's been a lot. I thought it was going to be kind of an easy ride, but it's not. It's not. Trying to open up. I miss you too, Tracy. Trying to, get this new studio going and, getting the, splitting equipment and then, getting new equipment. So it's been challenging, been really challenging. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And,
it's good.
With anything that is worth having, it's worth working for. So definitely I'm working for it. So, to all the, the writers and, my followers and fans for the Boss Up show and, all the other shows we are going to do, thanks to Tracy, we're going to do an old school jam twice a month. When I get back, we're going to start that. And now we're on a lot of different platforms now. So we're not only on, I think we were on like 8 Facebook pages now, and we're on Live Me. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. And I think I'm missing one, but
I think it's time to go to a .com or a link tree and just put those million. That's what we end up having to do, because we're sending everyone to all our different sites, all our different links for DaBooth, 312, and it's like, okay, you know what? Let's make it easy for you. Here, one location. Go to our link tree, check it out, and you decide where you want to watch us from.
I'm gonna need your help with that. I was actually talking about that this morning because even though I'm over those broadcasts, I forget them sometimes. I forget where to go to. But I'm definitely excited. I just want to publicly say thank you to everybody who's been so patient with this transition, and those that check up on us to see how things are going and what we're doing. So I really want to say thank you to everybody who, has been consistent, and, where are you, Angie? We just want to make sure you're okay. I'm okay, guys. I just, it's kind of like, I'm trying to see what I can compare it to, when, people do, like Superman going to the phone booth, and then people are like, where is he? And then when he comes out, he's Superman. Mm-hmm. So when I come out, guys, I'll be Superman.
I thought it was going to be She-Hulk.
Actually, if you want to get technical, in the mid-2000s, there was Superman Returns, and Superman disappeared for 5 years.
So see, for me, it's only been like 3 weeks, but I definitely.
It feels like 5 years, Angie.
It does, because that's a part of my life, like coming up and communing with everybody, and me inspiring people and them inspiring me, So yeah, that is a part of my life. So I'll be back really soon, guys. But the good news is, I will be broadcasting from New York, New Jersey. So. You guys just keep notifications on with that.
Yeah, from New York and Jersey.
Yes. Oh, I love their accent.
Jersey.
And when I go to Jersey, I get the accent.
You get the Jersey.
When I come back here,
you'll be talking like Bugs Bunny.
A lot of house heads out there tell me, though, if you want to get to know house music in New York, you got to go to Jersey. That's more of a mecca of house out there. Mm-hmm. I guess the clubs scene and whatnot. I personally don't know. I'm just going by what New Yorkers have told me that are in the club scene out there. That Jersey has the best club scene. So you have to let us know then.
I definitely will.
Check that out. Yeah.
Well, say hi to the cake boss out of Hoboken.
And that's how I look when I go to Jersey sometimes, because I'm like, what is he saying? Like, I
the cake boss, right? Cake boss. He's out of Jersey. Yeah, out of Jersey.
Okay.
All right. Angie, you ready to get into your Soulful Inspirational segment?
I am.
Uplift us for the month of July.
I am. So
that intro.
Thank you.
All right. Nevertheless, right here we have the lovely Soulful Inspirator herself, Angie Pat.
I know it's late, but happy 4th of July, everybody, and I hope everyone had a very safe 4th of July. I did want to actually come up to kind of, talk about that a little bit, but I didn't get a chance to. So, I hope that you all were aware, and, with all the people who have PTSD, because it's real. Our very own Ron Tinsley suffers with that. So he, let us know about all of that. So I hope that you guys, had a wonderful holiday. So I want to talk about today, change for the better and not for the times. A lot of everybody I talk to now, I don't know, we're in this season of life where it seems like everybody's going through something. And there were times when I would be going through something and I would be able to call someone and, they would be able to encourage me. But, lately, even if I call somebody, they're going through something. And so we kind of have to encourage each other. And some things, we kind of have to, keep a stance on. I'm noticing that more people are changing. They're not changing for the better, but they're changing with the times. Everybody's changing with the times because everybody wants to be with the in crowd. Everybody wants to, they don't want to be different because they don't want to be talked about. They don't want to be ridiculed. They don't want to be considered as, I don't want people to say, bad things about me. Or I don't want people to, to think that I'm changing, for the better. I started right before I got terminated from my job. On a good note, though. So when you hear people say terminate, I was not crying. I was jumping with joy. But a lot of people were changing with the times. And I started a couple of months ago doing some different things with Angie, for Angie, to be a better Angie. And I had started saying that on my show in the morning. And I lost a lot of people. Along the way, because it was, well, what are you doing that for? Well, why you were okay then. Yeah, I was okay then because I was only reaching a certain level that you were hoping that I didn't surpass. When I started surpassing that level, then the ridicule came, and once people figured out that they couldn't get me that way, then they just fell off. It's almost like, and I had this analogy as I was coming in, I asked myself, because actually Rob and I was sitting talking, and I was talking to myself, and I told him, I said, yes, I'm talking to myself. And at this part of life, yes, I'm answering myself too. But I asked myself on the way here, Angie, do you want to be a tree or a leaf? And with the tree comes roots, it comes foundation, it comes stability. A tree can withstand the rain, the wind, a lot of hurricanes, a lot of winters. But if you notice, leaves, they change with the time. They fall off, they turn colors, and that's how people are. And I asked myself, Angie, do you want to be a tree or a leaf? And not only that, but do you want to surround yourself with people who represent trees or leaves? And most of the time, if we look in our lives, and the older I get, the more that I realize that people really just want to change with the times. Nobody's trying to get better, because changing for the better means I have to be responsible for my actions. I have to hold myself accountable for my actions. I have to, stand up and own what I did in the situation to make it what it is. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to, well, I did it because they did it. And that was just my reaction because of what they said. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and they said something and it really offended me. And they said, well, Angie, you started it, and you said this and you said that. Okay, I own that. But we have to now take accountability for our own actions. It's just, I've never seen, we used to hear our parents say, even when we were coming up, oh, I've been living for a long time, but I've never seen the world the way it is now. I've only been on this earth for 51 years, and I promise you there's so many things that I've never seen before. People don't care about people, and you were saying earlier, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Greg was saying earlier, and that's and Rob and Ron can tell you, that's my favorite saying. I crab in a barrel. I call it a crab in a barrel syndrome. Yep. And I can't stand it. And everybody is trying to change for the times, but not understanding. If you go to, and I use this analogy all the time, if you go to Red Lobster and you want to order a crab, and they have the live crabs in the fish tank, none of them ever get out unless they're taken out. They have lobsters in the tank. They don't have crabs. You know what I mean. It's still crabs in a barrel, and lobsters act the same way.
And claws that can snip your
and if it's in Brazil, they don't have the lobsters. They have guinea pigs. So
Now you're just making me hungry.
Little butter sauce on the side.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. But my point is, they never get out. And we're not even as humans smart enough to understand that. Nobody's ever going to get out unless we stand on each other's shoulders and get out. If we're steady at the bottom, everybody's at the bottom. I mean, because we only a prayer away from death. We only a prayer away from being broke. We're only a prayer away from a lot of things. So we're all in the same place. But if we help each other, and you stand on my shoulders and let me get a little higher, and then when I get to a certain place, then I'll stand on your shoulders, and then we help each other like that. But that's not what it is, because everybody's trying to impress the next person. And the people that you're trying to impress, I say it and I'll say it, they don't care about you anyway. Right. People that really, really care about you, first of all, are going to tell you the truth. They're not going to, tell you something that's going to be detrimental to you. And most of the times, if you notice now, you can't even go to some of the people that you may have gone to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, to even talk to even get advice, because you might be in another place in life and they might be at the same place. And I learned that. I used to tell people all the time, if I'm 51 and I'm doing the same thing that I did at 21, there's an issue there. Or even 31. Or even 41, 10 years ago. If I'm still doing the exact same thing now that I was doing 10 years ago, how have I grown? Nobody is caring about growing. It's just I want them to like me and to accept me. And I can't accept you because they don't accept you. And then I can accept you in private, but I can't accept you in public because I don't want people to. It's just a vicious cycle, like you said. It's a horrible cycle. And I'm at the point in my life where if I have to walk away from certain things and certain people, then that's just what I'm gonna have to do. Because nobody is really helping anybody. And they're not. Nobody's really helping anybody. Or if they help you, they have a motive for helping you. Or what am I gonna get out of it? Or, I need you to help me because remember when I helped you. Nobody's doing it just to do it because I want to see you get ahead. Nobody's thinking if Rob gets ahead, then maybe he can help Angie get ahead. Nobody's thinking like that.
Everybody wants to be a chief that leaves no Indians.
Absolutely.
Everybody wants to be a chief.
Absolutely. And then most of the people that want to be chiefs is about as dumb as rocks. Just gonna say, just dumb as rocks. We're in this society of fake it till you make it. And it's more faking it than making it now. Everybody's faking it. Everybody's putting on face, that this is who they are and what they are. And I was talking to somebody a couple of months ago and I said, all those little innuendos that we heard as kids and coming up that we say, it all sounds cute. But where is that getting us at the end of the day? I'm grown. That's one I hate. I hate that. Okay, after you 18, yeah, you grown. Now you just getting old. And you're becoming an old fool because nobody is all about me. Everybody's just about me. Just me. If I'm not getting nothing out the deal, I'm not gonna help you get nothing. And people will sabotage even growing themselves to see somebody else stay stagnant. And so I've been okay with like losing certain people and people not supporting me because to be honest with you, I do demographics on my Facebook pages. And I find out that I have 91% of people, 91% of the people that follow me are non-followers. I don't know them. They're from other countries, other places. I have people like in Ghana and, Nigeria. And when it's night here, it's morning there or vice versa. And these people are up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning watching me. That means a lot. When people that I may have known 30 and 40 years, it's like, oh, well, since Angie's not acting a clown like she used to, then we can't really support her. But I've known you for this long. And it's sad that we have to go outside of our so-called friends, our so-called family, our so-called colleagues to get the support that we need. I know people who are born and raised here in Chicago, but they don't live here. Right. And you couldn't pay them to come back. And I'm next in line. I'm next in line.
And she's going to be leaving on vacation and maybe not coming back.
No, but for real.
So enjoy this right now.
You can still do the boss by remote.
Right. You don't have to find a way for me to do my segment by remotely. But it's bad. you know, and, you know, everybody has this thing of, you know, we want the world to be better, but where do we start? And more important, when do we start?
Well, the people who are saying that, it starts with them. If you're not already doing it, start it.
And that's the thing. It's not them, because, of course, there's nothing wrong with me. And that's people that like, there's nothing wrong with me. Where do I have to start? It's you, and it's you, and it's you, and it's you. And oh, don't forget you. But what about me? And that's why when I started this whole thing a couple of months ago, I said, I'm building a new Angie. I need a new Angie. You know, a new way of responding, a new way of, you know, because anybody that really knows me knows what I'm talking about when I say that.
Let me lend a little weight to what you're saying, if you don't mind me jumping in there for a quick second. Inner reflection is probably one of the most difficult things that a person can come to terms with, because it means they have to face themselves. It means they have to look at themselves and make these calls and be honest with it. If you can look in the mirror and literally lie to yourself, then I don't know what's going on inside your psyche, okay?
Absolutely.
Because I can't do that. And I used to be really, really good at lying.
I'm 35 when I look in the mirror.
It doesn't look a day over 60.
Yeah, so it is, and I think a lot of that started even with COVID, because people were able to, you know, fake it till they make it. Even families and marriages and, you know, friendships, everybody was able to fake it till they make it. But when you're closed up, like you said, Lewis, with yourself and with the people that you say you love, or you really rocking with them, I think COVID kind of separated, you know, the weak from the strong with that. Because some people didn't have anyone but themselves. They didn't have families or spouses. So now you're in the house, you're by yourself. Now you got to deal with this person that you think everybody else should have dealt with when you couldn't deal with it. And I'm just at the point now, I have to, honestly with me, I have to kind of balance things out, because I go all the way to the left, all the way to the right. I'm still learning that gray area. Even at 51, I'm still learning that gray area, because either I'm gonna or I'm not. Either it's yes or it's no, it's up or it's down. I can't do the middle. It confuses the hell out of me, so I can't do that. But I'm honest with myself. And that's a thing of the past too, because even from the government down, people will rather hear a lie than the truth. And that's what everybody is living on. They're living on these lies, or, you know, what they perceive themselves to be. You know, nobody's really paying attention to really what's going on around them. I think I pay attention more to what's going on around me and how it affects me. You know, how can I change this? And if this is something that's, you know, it's out of my league to change, then I remove myself. Because if you're trying to do the right thing, and if you really look in your circle and you sit in your quiet time and think, people who think like that usually are one in few who are in this circle that's actually trying to do the right thing. You know, everybody else, again, it's just, they're just going along. I call it to go along for the get along. Everybody just going along for the get along. I just want to get along with this one, so I'm going to go along with whatever. But that ends. It ends. And it usually ends in a lot of destruction, because there's so much division. You know, I hear it with, you know, with families. I hear it with, you know, relationships. I hear it in the house community. I hear it everywhere. It's so much division. And what goal are we reaching being divided? Where's the goal? What goal are we reaching being divided? And everybody, like you said, everybody wants to be a chief, but what people don't understand, and I've been an employee, I've been an employer, I've managed people. What people don't understand is when you want to take that role on as a chief, you have to do more work than the Indians. Yep. People feel like, because I'm the chief, I'm the boss, I'm going to sit back and you do this and you do that. And every place I managed, when my team was short, I had to fill in. I don't care if I was short 4 people. I better pull out me, myself, and somebody else and get to work. I couldn't sit back in the office and, you do this and you do that. Everybody wants the glitz and the glamour, but they don't want the work that goes along with it. And that's why I don't envy people. I'm not jealous of people. And a lot of people that I found out when I started, kind of revamping me, found out were jealous of me. Why? You may see what's going on the outside now, but I will trade you what I had to go through behind closed doors to get there. I'll trade with you very quickly. Because it's not always worth what what it looks. It's not always worth what it looks like when people just see the outside and not know what you went through to get it.
Everybody's a track star until they have to jump that first hurdle.
And I ain't never been good at running. Never. I barely can walk.
Ryan, don't put me in front of no hurdles though. I'll be breaking something.
So I just I want to encourage everybody today to keep pushing, keep moving forward. Everybody is going through something. And I know there's somebody in your life where you maybe kind of, admired them because maybe, they haven't really gone through a lot. Even they going through a lot. People that have never gone through a lot, even though they're even going through a lot. People are going through a lot now. And so I just really want to encourage, everybody to keep moving and keep pushing. And, your change and your competition should be with yourself. That's who I'm in competition with. I want to be a better Angie than I was yesterday. I want to compete with that Angie yesterday. I want to compete today with what Angie did yesterday. So I really want to encourage you guys to, change for the better and not for the times. Because today is one time and then tomorrow, the what do you call it? The phase will change and then now you'll be chasing that phase and then tomorrow it'll be another one and the next day it'll be another one until you batty crazy and don't even know who you are because you're so busy chasing fads and fashion and people and situations and, acceptance and love. Those are things that shouldn't have to be chased. You shouldn't have to chase those things. And when you find yourself chasing those things, you need to let those people, places, and things go where you're chasing, because you're going to lose in the end. You're going to lose in the end. And if I have to chase people or, beg for people to accept me, which I've always gone against the grain with that, and I'll throw up in a minute, I don't care. That's my thing, I don't care. You don't like me, I don't care. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, while I'm worrying about why you don't like me, you're going on with your life. And I'm stagnant, still trying to figure out why you don't like me, knowing I didn't do anything to you, but I just need to fit in. No, I don't need to fit in like that. We all need to kind of create our own lanes, and we all have different paths, and we all have different goals. Now, can we help each other reach those goals? Of course. Because I have goals and Rob just said it, before I started my segment, because that was my thing. How do I get all of this stuff to one central place? Because I'm lost. So since he brought it up, then I have to have Rob to help me with that.
Angie, I told you from day one, that's what it's all about within the DaBooth312, it's unity. We work together to help each other grow.
You did.
And it still holds true to this day.
You did, and I thank you for that. So, and that's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, well, I know some information that could help Angie, but I'm not going to tell her. And that's what people are on nowadays, because I do certain promos for the company, but my daughter does better promos. So why would I need her? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, well, she may outdo me. Please outdo me. Because I got enough on my plate, outdo me, and then that'll be your job. And then that can be one less thing off my plate. But people don't look at it like that. So, we have to continue to build one another. And when we help build another person, then we're actually building ourselves anyway. I'm sure people know people who, have done things or helped them do things, and, everybody knows about it. But if you are helping build somebody else, that's going to be your, I guess I could say, your commercial. You don't have to, I call it blow your own horn. I hate that.
Toot.
Yeah, beep beep. So, yes. So I'm just encouraging everybody, and again, I want to really thank you guys. Thank my big brother Ron Tinsley, because he knew me before I knew Rob, and then I met Rob through Ron, and and they both believed in me. Honestly, again, saw something in me I didn't see. And then even with my business and Chilla, I started out, he said that I started out doing, little lives here and there, when I would go to parties or whatever. And 3 years later, there goes the Boss Up Show and the Ride to Work with Angie. And, so we just need to help build one another. Because we're not always in the same place, and we're not always strong at the same time. So, if I'm weak, then you're supposed to be able to help carry me, and vice versa. And that's, that's what life is all about. So I want you guys to just stay strong and know that, Angie, I love you guys. I miss you guys so much. I'll be up probably in the morning about 8:30, because I've still got running around to do to get ready to get out of here on Wednesday. But I will be going up periodically on Wednesday, so just keep your guys' notifications on. When I come back, everything will be going full-fledged as normal. So we're still doing the Ride to Work with Angie every weekday morning at 8 o'clock. And then let me see, on Monday, here I go with this list of laundry list. On Monday is the app show, Angie's Poetry Plateau, at 7 p.m. And then Tuesday is Tea Time with the Boss, Let's Talk About It, with my co-host Noni. Wednesday evening, it'll be the Boss Up Show. And Thursday and Friday is the Boss Up Show, I think, at 7 o'clock. And then, like I said, we're bringing the His and Her show back. We're going to do our old school jam twice a month, and those promos did go out. And again, thank you guys that share, and I really appreciate you all. It's just, I don't know, sometimes it's just overwhelming, just life, and how people that support you, they really support you, and they're there. They can, you can be gone for a little while, but they're still there. And I've experienced that on this journey, that, I could be gone for a day, or I could be gone for a week, and you guys are still there. So I want to thank you guys so much, and let you know that, us at Epic Miracles Boss Up International, we appreciate you. Thank you for all the prayers and your love and your support. I'm not ignoring you, Tracy. I see you. I love you too, my darling. And as Tracy would say, if nobody told you today that they loved you, let me be the first to say I love you, but Jesus loves you best. So this is your girl, Angie Pat, a.k.a. The Boss, and I'll see you on the next ride.
Thanks so much, Angie. Thank you so much. Definitely a great inspiration, and we know you've been on one hell of a roller coaster, like so many, but you're doing a great job at it. So
thanks.
You definitely staying strong for yourself and everyone else around you.
Well, you keep me in your prayers, guys.
Always. All right, guys, stick around. Right, we're gonna come right back. We're gonna take another commercial break, and we'll give some final thoughts on the show today. And maybe we'll get Greg Vargas to come back on and tell us a little bit more about what's to come. All right, guys, stick around here for the best sounds of the underground. Talking about DaBooth312, broadcast on WIT 88.9 FM Chicago and WOUI, DaBoothRadio.com.
Most of us start every day with good intentions, and then everyday life can get in the way.
Maybe next time.
Especially when it comes to getting enough exercise. By the time you get ready for work, get the kids ready for school, get the kids to school, get yourself to work, run some errands after work, make dinner, and get ready to do it all over again. When are you supposed to find time for a workout or even a walk? What if you could take care of your daily responsibilities and get the exercise you need to stay healthy, all at the same time? Experts say with more opportunities to walk, bike, or take public transportation, exercise would become part of our daily routine, lowering obesity rates, cutting healthcare costs, and giving ourselves and our children a chance to lead longer, healthier lives. It's not impossible, but it will take good planning to make active living part of our everyday lives. Learn more at planning.org. That's planning.org. A message from this station and the American Planning Association.
Reaching the World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the DaBooth312. Broadcast now WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago and WOUI, DaBoothRadio.com. All right, guys, we're going to be closing up the show pretty soon here. I want to say thank you so much to our guests and Greg Vargas here, DJ Vegas. Thank you so much for coming. And
thank you for having me.
Oh, definitely. It's like Benji. It's great to sit down with someone who can tell you the actual history and not sit there and just make up their own or throw the ad libs in.
No, he didn't bend anything. He always said it straight out.
Right.
And a lot of people used to get bent out of shape, But, the truth is the truth. And,
Well, that's why I got bent out of shape. Because truth hurts. And that's one thing, like I said about Benji, is he used to come with the proof.
Right.
So, you could sit there and say, well, no. But when he had all the hard proof, most of the time people didn't say nothing. They stayed quiet.
Yeah, you had to know what you're speaking about. Very few people can go up against Benji, unless you knew more, or something. But he used to close down the conversation a lot.
I got my other microphone, so it's all right.
Having technical difficulties.
I can hear myself, so everyone else can hear me. So the light's off, but it's they had to fix the red light.
I'll take my microphone back then.
Yeah,
that's cool. Well, first time Fuego actually wants to be off the mic.
Fuego's been remarkably quiet today. All right, so don't poke the dead dinosaur.
See, now I just turned him off, so now he can be quiet all the time. So it's all right.
To say I miss somebody very important to this whole show, and that's one of them. That's going to be a lady that's getting an award. Her name is Arabelle Rosales. She sits on board. She used to sit on the board of the city of Chicago. She sit on the board of CTA. She has Latin Fashion Week runways. She does that, and she's also a sponsor on this thing. I mean, she's just phenomenal in what she does for the Latin communities and the models and everything. So it's going to be highlighted for fashion too. So I just wanted to bring that in because it's a genre that we're encompassing also, which is also fashion. Know.
And if you guys don't know what we're talking about the Latin living legends. We spoke about it earlier. If you guys missed that segment, feel free to check us out later on YouTube or tomorrow, a couple days, once it's up on iHeartRadio and Spotify and all the other multi-million different sites we're on. But
so that's I'm scared. A huepa and a puchica.
Dale huevo.
I mean, I'm definitely excited and honored to be a part of it, to assist you guys in getting this, to come to fruition and grow with it. I mean, I'm really excited for this. And again, it takes someone great as yourself to see the vision, to take that step first to make something like this happen. So,
and I also, because I know you're not a person to toot your own horn, but yours truly from the boot is going to be covering the event that day also. So we have to give a plug out to the main media endorsers themselves also. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. It's because I can't wear all the hats, when you're doing something. So, it's getting covered. And like I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I mean this, I'm trying to uplift, Hispanics, and anybody that thinks anything different, well, they're totally wrong, and I want to keep it on a positive note for everybody. So every year this is going to happen. So just because you're not on this year for whatever genre of work ethic that you're in, it doesn't mean that the next year it's not going to be covered. Because I'll tell you right now, from now, what I know is we're getting too small for the event in the place we're at. So it's definitely growing by leaps and bounds.
Right. No, absolutely. And again, like I said earlier, there's so many people, it's all about me. It's all about me, only about me. I don't know how many times we've had people come on the show here. They love it. It's great. Oh, yeah, we'll support you. Never hear from you. Never see you support the show or anything we're doing. It's expected from some, not by everybody. So we take it with a grain of salt. It is what it is. People are going to be who they are.
Yeah, you're more than welcome for any of your shows to drop a line on my, and I usually don't do this, but because of your, honesty and what you're doing to help out the cause, you're more than welcome to drop a line occasionally of what you're doing when you have a special show on my timeline on Facebook,
Thank you so
I just
much.
Don't want to,
really appreciate it.
It's just kind of hard because I have people from all over the world as friends. Right. And it looked like a commercial in my Facebook timeline.
Personally, I think it's better when they tag, because then that way you can approve it on your wall or not.
Yeah, that's what usually happens. I run a couple of websites that I don't tell anybody I own, only because I could pick and choose who gets on it or not without them coming back at me. Well, how come you didn't do this? And how come, well, I don't know nothing about it. It's not mine, you know?
Right.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying. You
absolutely.
know?
Certainly.
No matter what you do, there's always going to be negative people. You know, I'm not going to say the other word, but they're always negative.
Right. No, I definitely. You know, there's plenty of negatives out there, but like I said earlier, if we keep focusing on those negatives, we're taking away the focus from the positives.
Exactly.
So we can't keep worrying about, you know, the negative all the time. We know they're going to be there. It is what it is. Let it be there, and we go around and keep moving forward.
Yeah, your show is, and I'll say this again, your show here and this new facilities here, well, to me it's new, you know, but I remember having my singer and going to the steeple. I used to call it the steeple across. We
used to call it the attic.
The attic, yeah, same thing. It's like I was sweating bullets in the summertime up there, but this is more, you know, in the open. It's nice, very nice location you have here.
I have no memory of the previous joint.
Yeah, definitely.
Mr. John
definitely
Acosta.
Nice.
I have to give a word
John
out.
Acosta, rest his soul. God rest his soul. He was definitely, he was a big guy in nature, but he also had a big heart as well.
Oh, he had a huge heart.
You know, he's the one that got me to go back into DJing. I stopped for a long time and swore I wasn't going to, and we were talking. He said, "No, you got to do it." And after talking a little longer, he's the one that said, "You really got to do it." And then him and Adam Rock, you know, Adam was another one that like, Rob, you got to do radio. I'm like, all right, maybe I will. You know, and I gave it a try.
Adam Rock's a good guy too.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Adam really is. I got to talk to him again. I haven't talked to him in a while, but definitely another great guy. You know, Dave C. Dazzling Dave. Dazzling Dave.
Oh my God.
You know, another one with John Acosta, and you know, all great guys.
Yeah.
You know, so
You got a good guy right here, Luis Fuego. He's
you can tell me the truth. Go ahead.
He's trying to make me blush.
No. I mean, you know, I judge people how they are with me.
Right.
I mean, if I were to judge them by what other people say, you know, I'm not saying you. I'm saying what other people say about somebody.
Right.
You get the falsification of a lot of things.
Oh, absolutely.
I was telling Gabriel Reekin, I said, you know, you gotta, you know, when you do an event, there could be people I don't like to give an award to, you know, or want the first one. But it's not about me. Like you said, it's me. It's about actually the accomplishment. If I don't take the first step to show people, let's uplift each other, whether you like the person or not, we'll never get out of that a barrel of crabs.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. You know, and somebody has to take that initiative and take that first step. And I'm grateful that you're doing it. You know, you've taken it because who knows if anyone would have. You know, so
well, the goal initially is, you know, the long-term goal is because I brought Gloria Estefan and Emilio into concert. I was the first one to me and my group, Jazz Production. I was the first one to give them a start here. They opened up for Willie Colon at the Auditorium Theater. When Gloria didn't know and Emilio didn't know anything too much, and they only had one song, Dr. Beat, and then Conga was coming out.
Right.
And they didn't know how to fill in, and I told them do the Motown. So I figured the Alma Awards are gone, and I said this earlier, and then they started out the Latin Grammys. So I said, wouldn't this be good if we could get the Alma Awards, which was just music and entertainment in the music field, and open up the genre for all different genres, like what I'm trying to do with the Latin Living Legends.
Yeah.
And hopefully it works and it takes off and, you know, it grows to leaps and bounds, and I could leave a legacy behind. You know, I have no children, so I could leave a legacy behind to something that I have accomplished something, you know, in life. I'm not looking for a payout or payback or getting anything out of this. It's just my love of music and my love to my fellow disc jockeys, you know, women and men now. And hopefully it could grow and we can start forgiving and start getting together more often, you know.
No, absolutely. I agree with you, and we're with you 100% as long as you let us stay with you and continue to grow with you.
Of course.
We're more than happy to work with you and make this flourish and grow and expand, and sky's the limit. Don't know how far this will go. So
hopefully to the moon and past.
Absolutely, this is a
Infinity.
very big galaxy, and we've just barely touched the outer limits. So hopefully this will definitely grow and go much further. Real quick, DJ Vegas, how can we find out again and keep an eye on what the upcoming event is and what's going on with it? Where can people go to?
Okay, we have on Facebook, if you're not friends with me, we have a Latin Living Legend site on Facebook. And you'll also be able to, the people, we're going to be showing and announcing the people that are going to be getting the awards. And I'm sure you're going to be seeing all of them broadcast, where it's going to be at and find out about it. But the most thing is Google on Facebook, Latin Living Legends. We have a site on there, and it's, we got like a couple thousand people already, on there, and it's going to grow. It's going to grow, and it's going to be, all the information's there. It's going to be there. If you can't reach to me because I have a private Facebook account, because you know how it is when you got a whole bunch of people. Yeah. But Latin Living Legends, and we'll be also putting out links to everything, like for yourself, being broadcast. Your link is going to be there. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. And there's going to be info of the venue and where it's at. It's a VIP venue this time, by invitation open, because the place, like at one time, we thought 180 people, it'll be good, but now it's too small. So we got to keep this. VIP by selection only. It's non-for-profit. We're not out to make money on it at all.
Right.
So it's pretty good. You'll be seeing the site now. Hopefully that maybe we can give you a link on your DaBooth show and say coming soon, and your followers could also check in on it.
Absolutely.
We're going to try to make all the venue, the access all around, know. And then there's like multiple websites that I put on Facebook also. So
all right. Sounds
hopefully
good.
It grows.
Well,
thank you for having me.
Thank you again. We really appreciate everything, and we'll definitely be letting all of our following know more about the events and what's to come. So thank you so much.
Truly appreciate it. Thank you for having me again.
Definitely. All right, guys, we're going to be coming to a close pretty soon, so we're going to leave you guys with the best sounds of the underground coming through DaBooth312.com. Make sure if you guys want 24/7 house music, everything from Afro to tech and everything in between, go to DaBooth312.com. That's DABOOTH radio.com.
all the things I wanna do now, right now, with you. How come you're not around? baby.